Hello, you are listening to the Smoking Glass Hour with Baron Glass. Please join us on Monday nights at 7:30 p.m. Central Standard Time for current events, and Thursday nights at 8 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time for local and state politics on Spreaker.com or at thesmokingglasshour.com. For live podcast shows 24 hours a day at Spreaker.com. We are on the move in 2015. And by the way, don't forget to like and follow us on Spreaker.com.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Smoking Glass Hour with Baron Glass. We are honored to have you as a guest tonight and want to thank each of you for your faithful support. Without further delay, allow me to introduce to you Mr. Baron Glass. Mr. Glass, take it away.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks to listen to the Smoking Glass Hour with Baron Glass on WMAD 24-hour global radio. Today we're going to be joined by Miss Kacey Nelson, who is a Schepis Museum Director and the Assistant Main Street Director. Now, most of us know that a museum has a primary role, and museums' roles and responsibilities and functions, some of which arose with the origin of Western Museum hundreds of years ago, and others are very new. This is a major debate, in the field of museum studies as other associated fields. Some historical roles have included the museum as a place for academic research, as an educational institution, and or both. Most museums continue to perform in this role. More recently, the museums have been championed as a place of social interaction, a center for social justice, and even a space for experimentation, invention, and innovation where visitors can learn how to get involved. Today we're going to be joined by Miss Kacey Nelson. Kacey, how are you doing?
Doing great.
Kacey, just for those who are out there listening, is there anything else that you'd like to add to the introduction before we get into the heart of the discussion?
No, I think you did a fine job.
Okay. Kacey, we know, some of us know, that a long forgotten Italian heritage has been rediscovered in a grand way in the quaint historic riverboat town of Columbia, Louisiana, in Northeast Louisiana. Would that be a fair assessment, in your opinion, of the Schepis Museum, which you are here today to represent?
Absolutely.
Okay. For those who are listening, and those who may go back and listen to the archive, give us a little factual information about the Schepis Museum, and let's start the conversation.
Sure. It was nearly 80 years ago when John Schepis himself came from Italy, and he came over on the Washita. He and his wife, they came over and just wanted to better themselves, and they wound up here in our little quaint town of Columbia, and they began to build one stone at a time. Literally, he built this building to support his family with a store downstairs and living quarters upstairs.
Okay. Kacey, we know that it has an Italian background, and specifically, you mentioned John Schepis. I believe it says somewhere where he carefully molded the stones to build this particular palace. And we know that there's a statue which represents George Washington holding a draped American flag, and Christopher Columbus holding a draped Italian flag. An American eagle flies above them, and the Italian coat of arms is placed in the center. Give those the historical background on that, because there may be a lot of people that's out there listening who would love to come to Columbia, Louisiana and visit the Schepis Museum. Tell them why they should come and visit the museum.
The museum holds just amazing, amazing history. Those statues that you spoke of, he actually built out of the sand from the river itself, and they are life-size, and you can see them from the other side of town almost, because the sand is so white and it's so bright and brilliant. It's absolutely beautiful building. They've completely restored it. It was an opera house at one time, a skating rink. It's been many, many things. Before we had it redone and placed on the historical landmark. And the Industrial Development Board had a large hand in helping us get that together and making sure that this building was saved. We have people in the town that have never even been in the museum, and they've lived here all their lives. And I just suggest to everyone that if you have not been to the building, to stop by and look at it. It is absolutely a gorgeous building and has beautiful history to it. And not to mention the exhibits that we have and the upcoming things that we have going on right now. We have a new exhibit almost every month from now until December. And we already have pretty much our roster for next year completely filled. So we're looking at doing a lot of things with a lot of local artists. We're going to be doing a lot of things with our children. And we just want to bring the town into the museum itself and let people know that it's not a dark and murky place. Our museums are fun. They are a place of learning and just an absolutely wonderful place to be.
I'll tell you, Kacey, for those who are in education and to make sure that their part of the element is covered, what does the Schepis Museum, by way of teaching education with regards to school system that may be within the parish or school system that may be outside of the parish, how do you guys coexist with regards to people coming, the schools in specific, coming to the Schepis Museum and learning things about the Schepis itself, like its existence, how it actually started out, and some of the information that you've already provided in a previous part of this show?
Yeah, we actually, any class or school in itself can contact us, and we will close the museum and have it open just for them. We had several this summer, kid activities as far as art classes and so forth, and we plan on continuing those monthly. Hopefully, once school starts, we would like to offer an art class weekly for different grades. And just getting the arts out. There's not that many arts in the school systems anymore. There's the occasional class here and there, but the arts are so important, and they've taken that out, and I just feel like it's up to me, not personally, but as the museum, to continue that. And we've had a very, very large support and, people wanting that as far as the classes go. And so we look forward to doing a lot of things here for our children. Okay.
When we look at agencies coexisting, and again, I'll use the museum and the educational aspect. You mentioned, and we all know, and for those who don't, arts in schools are almost non-existent. So do you feel that if you guys were able to create some type of art program, how would that actually benefit those students or these students that are here and abroad? How would that benefit them by coming to the Schepis Museum?
Well, we would hope to have different artists come in, teach them different forms of art. It's not just paint and canvas. There's so many different aspects of art as far as, sculpting, metal work. There's photography. I could go on and on. But we want the children to understand that there's more to art than just a painting. We want them to feel free to discover themselves and to be able to do what they feel on paper and canvas. Mm-hmm.
So when we look at culture and heritage, does the museum celebrate or allow artists to come in? Let's look at maybe Mexican art. Let's look at Italian art. Let's look at African American art. How do you guys function from that standpoint? So individual artists that are out there or during those times of the month when celebrations occur, how do you guys allow that information to exist within the museum itself, and what should a person do to try to make that happen with regards to working it out with the Schepis Museum?
Yes, we are very, very open to anybody that has a gift or a talent to contact us. We have a Facebook account of like everybody in America, I believe, and we have our telephone number is 318-649-9931. They can contact me directly, or they can shoot me an email at shepismuseum.bellsouth.com.
Mm-hmm. Okay, when we look at the museum itself, give us some specifics. Let's look at how big is your staff there, Kacey, because I venture to say that most people that know about museums on a larger scale, I venture to say that they probably assumes that you have a large staff. So tell us what your staff is like.
We have a staff of 2 that are constant on hand every day, and we maintain, the building and the exhibits, people coming and going. But we have what is called Friends of the Schepis, and that is local people from the town that come together that help with exhibits when we have them, or cleaning days, that type thing. When we have big events, they're here to help with the gate or money collection or such as that. And without these people, the Friends of the Schepis, which are the people on that committee, and anybody can join it, it's not just a certain few, we couldn't function.
Mm-hmm.
We're a nonprofit organization, so every penny and every help that we get from the community is greatly appreciated.
So those who are on the Friends of the Schepis, and if there's somebody out there listening now, maybe retired, in the process of retiring and moving back to North Louisiana, are they exempt if they stay outside of the parish, or do they have to reside within the parish? And if so, what do they need to do to volunteer their time to become a member of the Friends of the Schepis Museum?
We allow any and everybody to be a friend of the Schepis. You can live as far away as you want to and still support what we do here. All you have to do is contact me, and I will send you the paperwork to fill out, and that is it. We appreciate the support from anybody. We do not turn anyone down. So
basically, Kacey, what I'm hearing you saying is this, is that you guys basically function on your own with volunteers. And absent of anybody being paid, what you're saying is that if there's anybody that's willing to donate their time and give back not only to the Schepis Museum, but the parish and all of those individuals within this parish and outside, you guys are open to those individuals coming there and volunteering their time at any moment of the day, week, or the year. Absolutely. Okay. Having said that, we know that funding is always an issue. If an individual that's out there, or a benefactor, or somebody who just wants to give back, they can't do it with their body, but they can do it from a monetary standpoint. What do they need to do to donate money or to get that money to you guys, and so it can be used for the purpose that we're talking about now? Yes, again, you can become a Friends member of the Schepis, and I have a membership form that you can fill out. Of course, the donation is completely up to them, or businesses. Businesses can, come together and sponsor on a corporate level, and we usually ask for, our friends' donations once a year, and again, it's completely dependent on what you want to give. Mm-hmm. And they can contact me again, and we will get them the form and just be happy to have the support. Right. When we look at the museum itself, and we start talking about the exhibits, the displays, and things of that nature, is there a process for these exhibits to be displayed there at the Schepis Museum? And if so, tell us what the process is, Kacey. Yes, we first talk to the artist itself, just to get a feel of what they're wanting to portray. As the museum itself, everybody has their own idea of what art is, but at the same time, we are putting it out here for our community. And when I say community, I mean our children, our grandchildren, and so forth. And we don't want to offend anyone. So we always ask to see the products that they are showing before it is placed out. We want to make sure that it's nothing too vulgar. Mm-hmm. So, but
we want to show it in a good light, and to make sure that everyone will enjoy the piece and will understand what the artist is trying to get across.
Mm-hmm.
So we usually get an email with the pictures on it. We view them, and we go from there.
Okay. We know, Kacey, that some of history can be represented to one, and it can be represented to another group in a totally different way. When we look at the typical scheduling of you guys' agency, what is it like there on a daily basis? Because some people fail to understand that because we say people are volunteering, some people think, well, you leave home, you go to a certain place for 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock, and you sit there and you talk about old times, so forth and so on, and then you leave at 3 or 4 o'clock. For those who are listening, let them understand fully that what you guys do at the Schepis Museum is totally opposite of what I just stated.
It definitely is. I mean, I'm not going to, tell you that we don't talk, but we're women and men, and we're going to talk. But a daily event that we hold, it takes place of moving tables and ironing tablecloths. We, as the Friends of the Schepis, normally provide the food. It's not taken out of the museum funding. We do that as Friends of the Schepis, provide the food and so forth for the exhibits. We have to make sure that the lighting is done, the carpets are vacuumed, the bathrooms are clean. It's a process. It's not something that you just walk in and turn the light on and everything's magically ready. It takes time, it takes effort, and I'm thankful that we do have friends, but we can always have more friends.
So for those who out there listening, and when we look at the volunteer concept and the donation concept, are we saying that those donations help keep the building in operation, the light bills being paid, and all those other accessories that goes with maintaining the Schepis Museum on a daily, weekly, monthly, and yearly basis?
Absolutely. Without the donations and the friends, we couldn't have the doors open. Like I said, we are a historical building, but at the same time, historical buildings need electricity, and there's only one way to get that. And so, it is up to our friends and our sponsors. We do occasionally get grants and so forth, but those things are never 100%. So we're always doing things to try and, pull in funding to keep the doors open so that we can continue sharing the arts with our community.
Okay. When we look at the process for proposing exhibitions and things of that nature, if an individual agency or individual that's out there who wanted to display and they meet the criteria and or qualifications, is there a cost associated with this? And if so, what would be that cost? Is it on a sliding fee scale, or how does that work, Kacey?
No, there's no cost to the artists themselves. It is their product that we are showing. We do have a contract that they sign just to make sure that everybody is on the same page as far as when they can come in and set up, when the exhibit needs to go home, and, of course, the safety and preservation of the work itself when it's here.
Mm-hmm. So when we look at the museum itself, are there daily, weekly, bi-weekly, or bi-monthly, or whatever the case may be, when it comes to meetings? When the Schepis Museum is meeting, are those meetings open to the public? And if so, do you guys welcome participation, or you kind of work everything out among the committee and then disperse that information out to the community abroad? How does that work?
We have meetings that are once a month, and anyone is welcome to come in. Like I said, it's the friends that are having the meeting. And we have a board, and they give, just like any other board meeting that you have with any other business. We have our minutes and our funding and new business and old business. Mm-hmm. But we welcome anybody to stop in and sit in and put their 2 cents worth in, because without their help and cooperation, we don't know what the public wants.
Okay. Now, Kacey, I would venture to have an assumption, but I want to make sure that everybody that's out there listening understand. Who would you say the Schepis Museum audience is? I know that there are a lot of senior citizens. We know that. There are a lot of retirees because they can go there and kind of reminisce on some of the things that they actually went through, since museums actually hold a lot of historical things. Now, the younger generations, they are just a little different and are unique. Tell us what your audience is like and what you would like to do if there's any audience that really is not represented, what it is that we can do to try to make that audience be more of an existent with you guys as far as participation and coming to see what you guys have going on.
Right. Well, like I said before, when our younger generation thinks of a museum, they think automatically, oh no, I don't want to go. How boring. But that's what we're wanting to do. We are wanting the community to let us know. We want the children to let us know, what do you want? What can we do to bring you into town, to come to the museum, to spend your time down here and enjoy yourself and learn. And that's what we're asking. It is our more mature audience that we have that comes in, but like right now in the gallery room we're having a large animal mount exhibit basically for our men. There's very few things for our men. We live in the South in a sportsman's paradise, and so that's what we're exhibiting right now, our large animal mounts, ducks and fish and deer and so forth, and we have some exotic animals as well that some children and even adults would never see ever if they didn't come here and view them.
Well, I'll tell you, Kacey, I know that I have thrown many questions to you in the first 30-minute segment. So what I'm going to do right now, I'm going to pause and take a short break, and if you don't mind holding the line, I'll be right back.
Absolutely.
Hello. This is Baron Glass, host of the Smoking Glass Hour with Baron Glass on the all-new #1 global radio station, WMAD. Before I do my live broadcasting, I always dine in at the all-new Main Street Seafood Restaurant located in downtown Columbia, Louisiana, owned and operated by Miss Brett. Check them out. I did. At Horace Auto, we don't just repair parts, we restore pride. From oil change, brake repair, or full-service engine repair, give Horace Auto a chance to work on all of your automotive repairs. Horace Auto is owned and operated by Chris Howard, located in downtown Columbia, just off 165 at 235 Meredith Street, Columbia, Louisiana.
Hello, this is Pastor A.F. Riggins of Real Life Church, Houston, Texas. We welcome you to hear our broadcast every Tuesday night right here on Blog Talk USA and WMAD Radio, www.smokingglasshour.com. Real people, real life, real answers, a Bible study. Every morning on WMAD Radio and SmokingGlassHour.com, 7 a.m. Monday through Friday, you hear a Word of God, a sermon. And Sunday mornings at 9 a.m., same place, you can hear a Word of God. If you're in the Houston area, come and visit us at the Real Life Church, 2703 Highway 6 South, Suite 150 in Houston, Texas. 10:45 a.m. is our worship. Also, you can tune in to Blog Talk USA on Sunday nights at 8 p.m. for Wrap It Up Live. Community issues with real people, real life, and real answers. This is Pastor A.F. Riggins. Looking forward to seeing you soon. Looking forward to hearing you on our broadcast. Remember, prayer still works. That's good news. That's the power in the name of Jesus to break every chain. Amen.
We are back broadcasting live with the Smoking Glass Hour with Baron Glass on WMAD 24-hour global radio. Today we're joined by Miss Kacey Nelson, the Schepis Museum Director and Assistant Main Street Director. Kacey, before the break, I believe we talked about the inner component of the Schepis Museum. You have been able to give out information pertaining to the museum itself. If a person wanted to have a piece of art restored or repaired, does the Schepis Museum itself or someone that's a part of the staff, do they recommend someone of that nature?
We do not have anyone here on site that can do work such as that, but we can get in contact with people that do and that could help them, yes.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Does the museum itself, does it buy art of any kind, or do you guys just basically have it for display? Because I know that you've indicated in the prior segment that you guys strictly go off of volunteer and donations and things like that. So if you were to buy a piece of art, I'd venture to say it would have to be something that would be very spectacular. Not that the art that's there is not, it doesn't have a purpose, but for those who are out there listening that may have something in mind, I want to make sure that they get a clear understanding, because our message here is to always make a difference, and hopefully we can be as clear and precise as possible. So if somebody wanted to sell art to you guys, does the museum buy art?
We do, but we're very specific about what we look at and what we purchase. The majority of what we do have, as far as the museum is concerned, is pieces pertaining to Columbia and Caldwell Parish itself. We have pieces from artists that are from Columbia and Caldwell, just because that's the important to us. Mm-hmm. We want to support our locals, and we want to support, the work that they're doing. And so that's the majority of what we have. We do have a few other pieces, but very small pieces. Mm-hmm. But yes, we do purchase it, but it is usually very, very, not very often.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and that should be, Kacey, understandable, because, once again, when you look at, and the reason why I'm trying to stress some of these points is because I want to make sure that everybody that understand the thesis of the Smoking Glass Hour, which the smallest thing that's out there can end up making a difference. And what I like to convey, or the message that I like to convey, is that it does not take a whole lot to make a difference. And if we're talking about the museum itself, volunteering your time can make a difference. If you're talking about helping the Schepis Museum out, a donation can make a difference. And it can be a small donation, because those small donations, they end up becoming a larger donation, and in return, the Schepis Museum can utilize that money. So if I'm stressing this too much, that's okay, because again, I'd much rather a clear understanding be taken away rather than a cloudy image that's still there, where somebody's still asking, well, can I do this or can I do that? So I hope you don't mind that taking place. Now, if we're talking about some young artists that's out there listening, or who would go back and listen to the archive. And by the way, Kacey, after this show immediately, anybody can go out and listen to the archive. You can share it on your social media page. You can share it on your Schepis Museum page. So anybody across this globe that has internet service, they will be able to go back and listen to the Schepis Museum and hear how well thus far you have represented Caldwell Parish and the Schepis Museum. But for those young artists that are out there listening right now, how would you encourage them to get involved in local art if they feel that they have a talent, rather than becoming discouraged by some of their students by saying, well, we don't offer that anymore, it's bored or whatever? What advice would you like to give to those?
Absolutely. That's part of why we're wanting to do the classes and continue them, because there is such a want. I would encourage children and adults alike to just try it. And if you enjoy it, do it. I have a photographer that is actually coming in next year, going to be displaying her work, and she showed me her pieces, and I just fell in love with them. They were so strong and brilliant, and I asked her if she would be interested in showing her pieces, and she almost just fell apart. She just felt like that she didn't have a voice, and that she would never be able to do anything like that. So, I mean, don't stop. Just continue, and don't let anybody tell you that your work is not good enough. It is. If you enjoy it, you enjoy doing it, and even if it's just one person that sees it and enjoys it, then you've done your job.
Right. Kacey, has the museum ever thought, and this is just a question, thought maybe partnering with, the local school system, since you guys are thinking about maybe offering art, because we have, the fine arts building and things like that everybody can coexist, because I'm one that believes that agencies, when they work together, there's more that can be done. So has that ever crossed the minds of those who are part of the Schepis Museum with regards to educating and allowing the arts to continue, and maybe some type of partnership, interagency agreement, let's say between the local governmental bodies, which would be the parish police jury, the school system, and so forth and so on? Has that ever been considered?
We have talked about many different options as far as how to get the arts out to our children. And we have, again, several different things that we are working on and projects with our community that hopefully when they are finished, we will be able to share and bring the children in and do what is necessary.
And the reason why I ask that is because I venture to say that what the school system does not offer and what other credible agencies offer that would benefit both in return, I wouldn't see why that might not be something that could work there. Because if you take, let's look at maybe the Head Start, where kids are very energetic at that age, and they can use up a lot of ink, a lot of paper, so forth and so on. However, when they go home, they have already learned something that they may not otherwise learn at home. So I was just kind of thinking about that as we were talking about some of this stuff. But I feel like there's a lot that people can do to help the agency out. Now, when it comes to you guys advertising, do you get local churches involved, local ministers involved? How does the Schepis Museum get along with exhibiting and passing this information out to the community as a whole?
We do our best. Social media is an amazing thing. We have done so much through that just recently. And the newspapers, the schools, we are in contact with the churches as well. We usually do a fax system that usually gets to them pretty good. But most of our advertisement is done through social media. And it has worked really well for us here lately. And we have just kind of bumped up that aspect of it and doing a lot more with it. And we're really enjoying the feedback that we're getting.
Well, I'll tell you, Kacey, based on what you just said, and I'm glad that you mentioned it, I'm glad that the question came in that shape, form, or fashion. If you or the Schepis Museum would provide the Smoking Glass Hour at www.thesmokingglasshour@gmail.com. If you guys would provide us a monthly copy of all the individual things that are going on there, what we would do each and every Thursday night when we deal with local and state politics, we would have no problem advertising that information for you guys free of charge, since you guys have donations and things like that are going on. So because our goal is to try to take as much information from those individuals that are out there with the information to the living rooms. Therefore, those who are listening, the listeners, can continue to sit in their lazy boy recliner. They can continue to do whatever it is that they're doing. You can even listen on your smartphone. You can do whatever you want to do. And the information that's out there, we can provide that information directly into the home of individuals, not just in Caldwell Parish, but throughout and abroad. Is that something that would be beneficial to you guys?
Absolutely. We would greatly appreciate that so very much.
Well, if you would get that to the administrative assistant, again, it's not going to be that much involved. Again, I would love to, as a matter of fact, the Thursday night broadcast coming up with local and state politics, we can incorporate that. We already do the library. We're talking every week about the voting and the voting process, why local voting is important. When it comes to the Schepis Museum, if there are groups or agencies that are out there who wanted to maybe reserve the Schepis Museum, do you guys offer those types of services? And if so, how must one obtain that information?
Yes, we do. We rent the building out. You can rent the entire building, which some people do not realize that we have an upstairs room that is as large as our gallery room. We have a meeting room with a full-size kitchen and 2 restrooms that are full-size as well. Upstairs, again, we have the large room that is almost the same size as the gallery room downstairs. There's an elevator and there is a staircase. So, people, if we're having exhibits upstairs, those that, can't walk the stairway can more than happily use our elevator system. They can rent out individual rooms, or you can rent out the whole building. It's whatever you need.
Mm-hmm. Is there a fee associated with the renting of the meeting rooms and so forth and so on?
Yes. Now, there is a fee for that because it's normally not hours that we are, open for the public. So we do charge for that. But we do have the tables and the chairs, the linens, everything. But we have several people that do rent the building on normal occasions, and we have special events. But like I said, most people have never even been in the building that have lived in town all their life. So we encourage people to just come and look at, even if you're not interested in the exhibits that are being held at the time, come and look at the building. It's a beautiful building.
Mm-hmm. So, Kacey, the fee, is it a sliding scale fee or is it a one-time fee for each individual room, or does it vary from whatever it is that you're going to be renting?
It varies. There is a deposit which you get back once the event is over and the room has been cleaned. But it varies from how many rooms you want to rent, or the whole building, or such as that.
What I'm trying to do is, for those who are out there listening that may be thinking about doing it, is can you specifically give the fees, the rental fees, the deposit, so they can get that information, or would you prefer not to disclose that and just contact you or the agency itself? Because either way it goes, it doesn't matter. I want to make sure that you get your information out that you like an audience to know about.
Yes. No, they can contact us here. We usually like for the person to come and look at the building, because they ask 100 questions about the room itself, and you really can't get an idea of it until you see it. So, what they need may not be a certain room that they have in mind. So it's better to come in and look, and then we go from there as far as how much it is and so forth. Okay,
Kacey, what are your office hours?
Our office hours are Tuesday through Friday, 9 to 4:30. On Mondays, we are here, but the museum is usually closed. I'm in my office, and my office is always open for anybody to come in. We close the museum on Mondays just so that we can, that's our cleaning day, to make sure that everything is taken care of and up to standard for our week.
Okay. What are some of your planned events that's coming up for July, the month of July?
For July, again, like I said earlier, we have an exhibit opening Thursday, July the 2nd, from 5 to 7. It's our Louisiana Sportsman's exhibit. It is multiple animal mounts, and they're all from our local people in the community. It's men, women, and children that have, had these animals mounted and so forth, and they're really, really beautiful. We have a gentleman that will be serving wild game dishes for sampling, a couple of different things to taste. Some people have never had, or so forth. And then we have some special guest speakers and some door prizes. Okay.
Kacey, once again, we're looking at about 6:14 p.m. Central Standard Time. And what I'm going to do right now, I'm just going to pause for a brief moment, and then I'll bring you back for the final segment of the interview. So if you don't mind, if you just hold and stay the course, we'll be right back.
Sure.
Whisper to me softly, breathe words upon my skin. No one's near and listening, so please don't say goodbye. Just hold me close and love me. Press your lips to mine. Feels so right. Feels so right. Lying here beside you, I hear the echoes of your sighs. Promise me you'll stay with me and keep me warm tonight. So hold me close and love me. Give my heart a smile. Feels so right. Feels so right. Your body feels so gentle, and my passion rises high. You're loving me so easy. Your wish is my command. Just hold me close and love me. Tell me it won't end. Feels so right. Feels so right. Feels so right. Oh, you feel so right, baby.
The preacher told the congregation, if anyone wanted to be prayed for, to come to the altar. Billy Bob got in line. The preacher eventually got to him and asked, "What's your prayer request?" Billy Bob said, "Preacher, I need you to pray for my hearing." The preacher immediately placed one finger into the guy's ear, placed his other hand on top of the man's head, and said a magnificent prayer. The congregation shouted with enthusiasm. Then the preacher stepped back and asked, "So, Billy Bob, testify. How is your hearing?" Billy Bob replied, "Well, how should I know? It's not until Tuesday." This old joke is a good illustration about how easy it is to jump to conclusions. Even with good intentions, we can fail to ask the right question. We've all had it happen. It's been said your assumptions are your windows on the world. Scrub them off every once in a while, or the light won't come through. Hearing accurately was crucial to Jesus. Check out this text in Matthew 13, verses 1 through 17. On the same day, Jesus went out of the house and sat by the sea. And great multitudes were gathered together to him, so that he got into a boat and sat. And the whole multitude stood on the shore. Then he spoke many things to them in parables, saying, Behold, a sower went out to sow. And as he sowed, some seed fell by the wayside, and the birds came and devoured them. Some fell on stony places where they did not have much earth, and they immediately sprang up because they had no depth of earth. But when the sun was up, they were scorched, and because they had no root, they withered away. And some fell among the thorns, and the thorns sprang up and choked them. But others fell on good ground, and yielded a crop, some 100-fold, some 60, some 30. He who has ears to hear, let him hear. You are listening to Perceptions on WMAD 24-hour Global Radio.
We are back broadcasting live with the Smoking Glass Hour with Baron Glass with today's guest, Kacey Nelson, Schepis Museum Director, Assistant Main Street Director. Kacey, before we close out the segment, is there anything else that you'd like the general public to know about the Schepis Museum, or is there anything else that we have not covered that you'd like to cover?
Just that the Schepis is here for the community, and not only, if you'll notice, you said that I'm the Assistant Main Street Director as well. The Schepis, Main Street, Chamber of Commerce, we all work together on different events, just for the community, such as our art festival, our fireworks that we're having Friday, and our family day on the river Saturday. We all have to work together in order to have these things for our community, and anybody can come and help us with that. It's not a one-man show. We do everything in support for the community. So anybody that wants to help, whether it be a business or an individual, we welcome that with open arms.
Well, Kacey, before I tell you where all these listeners are at, I'm going to give you the opportunity to tell them about your fireworks that's coming up on the 4th of July, because you might be able to lure these individuals in. So tell us a little bit about that.
Actually, it's going to be a 2-day event. Our Chamber of Commerce on the 3rd, on Friday night from 7 to 9, we'll be having music, live music played, and at 9 o'clock we will have our fireworks display. We're really excited about it. This is the first time we've done a 4th of July fireworks exhibit, so we're excited about it. And then the following day, on the actual 4th of July, is our Family Day on the river. Now, all this will be taking place on our river walk. It's beautiful over there, over the levee. They don't use it very much, so we've decided that we're going to utilize it. It is there for us to use, and it's beautiful. So we're going to have a patriotic children's parade at 10 o'clock. It's going to start at the First Baptist Church in Columbia, come down Main Street, and we will have prizes for first, second, and third, most patriotic. And once everybody has gotten down to the Riverwalk, we're going to have a pie contest for the ladies so they can bring out their recipes and have those judged as well. We're going to have a dunking booth for all of our candidates that are running for office this year, so that could be fun or dangerous. I don't know which. We'll have the jumpers for the children, face painting. We'll have hot dogs and drinks available also as well. It'll be a hot dog, a Coke, and chips for $5, and that will be the only thing that will be charged for.
Well, Kacey, let me tell you, there's a listener out there from Arizona who says that they were going to try to rush home, but they realized that they could hear the broadcast on their cell phone. You have them out there from Arizona, Tennessee, Baltimore, Maryland, Texas, Houston, and Dallas, California, North Carolina, South Louisiana, St. Martinville, Mamou, Louisiana, Montgomery, Louisiana, Atlanta, Georgia. We have them in, of course, Caldwell Parish, over in Western Louisiana, Shreveport, Rayville, Delhi, and many, many, many other places. So the information that you just presented, hopefully there was somebody out there who was able to obtain this information. In case it based on your delivery, hopefully you will be able to guide them into Caldwell Parish, not just this week, but from here on out. So before we go, I'm going to give you a closing words before we close out the segment.
Thank you. I appreciate it so very much for what you're doing, helping us, help the community. And we just ask for everybody to go on our Facebook or give us a call. Just get with us, and we will do whatever we can to help you, and hopefully get a little help in return.
Okay, Kacey, what I'm going to do is after the show, I'm going to share the broadcast on your page, and then in return you can share it out to your own group page or whatever the case may be. They will be there from here on out, and like I said, it will be an archive of the show, and that you can keep that in your archives or whatever the case may be. I want to say thanks for accepting the opportunity to come on the Smoking Glass Hour with Baron Glass. And if there's anybody else that's out there who may have something like this in their neighborhood, or some young bright individual that's coming up, or any adult that's doing something in the community, and you need that message to get out, feel free to contact us. You can contact us on every social media that's out there. You can catch us on LinkedIn. You can catch us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Pinterest, Google+, WordPress, and every other site that's out there. You can also check us out each and every day on WMAD 24-hour Global Radio, and that WMAD stands for We Make a Difference. There's a full 24-hour service of music. On Sundays, we have all Christian music, ministers coming on with their live broadcast. We have 1 full hour of Zydeco music, 11 o'clock to 12 p.m. Each individual day. We have NPR news that's coming on. So we try to make sure that our message is very clear, that we believe in diversity here. If you go out and look at the fan page, if you go out and look at the web page, you will see the staff, which consists of all women and one man, all blacks, all whites. There's a combination of everybody that's out there. So we are doing, we're not just talking the talk, we are actually walking the walk. So Kacey, I said all that to say this. Feel free to always come back on the Smoking Glass Hour. If you want to catch some good ministerial information, Pastor Riggins will be coming up at 7 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time with real people, real life, real answers. He's a senior pastor, founder of Real Life Church out of Houston, Texas. So, Kacey, thanks for coming on, and may the good Lord continue to bless you and all of those down at the Schepis Museum. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you.
Okay, have a great day. Okay, so for those who are out there listening, hopefully you enjoyed the broadcast. And what I'm going to do, I always open my show with Sam Cooke by the Reverend Al Green, A Change Is Going to Come. If I don't open the show with it, I always close it. So here we go. A Change Is Going to Come, Mr. Sam Cooke by Reverend Al Green, 5 minutes and 50 seconds, and I'll be right back.
Somebody say yeah. Say it again, say yeah. Somebody say yeah for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. You look good out there, baby. I was born by the river in a little tent. Oh, just like the river I've been running ever since. It's been a long time coming, but I know a change gonna come. Oh, yes it will. Look here. It's been too hard living, and I'm afraid to die. Look here. 'Cause I don't know what's up there beyond the sky. It's been a long, I wish I could come out there where you are, baby. A long time coming, but I know, look at here, A change gonna come. Oh, yes it will. Look at here. Let me say one more thing. I go to the movie and I go downtown. But all I can hear is somebody keep telling me, oh boy, don't hang around. It's been a long. If anybody know what I'm talking about, let me see you wave your hand. I know a change gonna come. And oh, yes it will. But I've got to take my time and say this, look. Then I go to my brother. Yes, sir. And I tell him, I said, brother, help me please. But he winds up knocking me. He knocks me back down on my say yeah, I can last long, long. I know I'm able. I'm able to carry on. It's been a long, good God Almighty, a long time coming, but I know a change gonna come. Yes, it will. Look at here. One more time. Look. Then I go to my brother. Somebody take your hand back and forth like this. Everybody. You sitting in the first balcony too. Help me, please. All over the auditorium tonight. All over the... Hallelujah. But he winds up knocking me back down on my knees. That's the times what I thought I could last for long. I know, baby. Change gonna come. And oh, yes it will. Somebody say yeah. You all back here, let me hear you say yeah. Somebody say oh yeah. Say it again, say oh yeah. Somebody say yeah.
Today's guest, Miss Kacey Nelson, the Schepis Museum Director and Assistant Main Street Director. I want to say thank you for listening to the Smoking Glass Hour with Baron Glass on WMAD 24-hour Global Radio. Thanks and have a great